Or to the double E-ZON coming at you once again. Coming at you with two brand new videos. Like I said, trying to do at least two videos per week to try to grow this channel. And this video is going to be a review on a recently purchased game that I have for the Nintendo Switch. It's also available on PS4, I believe PS4 and Xbox One, but I know it's Series X and PS5 for sure as well. And I believe PC, but I got it on the Switch because I wanted to have this kind of game portable. And that would be none other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. Now, I was so dying for this game to release. From the moment it was announced, I think it was first announced, if I'm not mistaken. I saw just, a random news story on one of these gaming sites announcing it. But I believe the first time it was shown like in an event was a PlayStation State of Play, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, when I saw this story and I read what was going to be available in this collection, 13 classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, the addition of online mode to certain games in that collection, quality of life fixes, and a bunch of extra content that they talked about. I was ecstatic. I was absolutely blown away by this announcement. We had just come off the heels of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which was, as you know, probably the best beat 'em up ever made, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people are. And even if you don't consider it the best ever made, it's definitely up there. If you're a beat 'em up fan, I mean, there's no way you cannot have it up there. I mean, from the actual source material being the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who in their late 20s, especially 30s, and even 40s and 50s, did not come up in some, shape or form with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was just epic. We had just come off that amazing game. The game was on Game Pass. It was available on PlayStation, Switch, everything. And then now this. So it was beautiful because it's. And again, going into this, we also have a confirmed announcement from Paramount stating that there will be a AAA, like big budget, brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game launching next year in 2023. So all this turtle love, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, on top of the live action movie, or I can't remember if it's live action or computer animated, but the new movie coming out next year. That's, again, Seth Rogen is spearheading. But, all this turtle mania happening and midway through this year going into next year, it's just a beautiful thing to see this childhood phenomenon that I grew up with and these iconic characters and this amazing franchise get brand new life in a whole new decade. It's fucking awesome. But anyways, once I saw everything that this game, was promising, I lost my shit. I was dying for it. And then, coming up a week or so before it launched, like I said, it's been really tough lately financially. So I've had to do a bunch of other side hustles along with my actual job. In some cases, just to make ends meet. So I was like, damn, I'm not going to be able to get this game on launch, which really, really hurt, especially when I was seeing all the reviews for it and how it was scoring off the charts. I have not seen one negative review for this game. So, of course, I'm a masochist and I like to torture myself. So, the day before, it launched, I guess I'm on my eye, excuse me. It launched on a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. The Thursday before, I'm sitting at work, I'm, repairing some computers. And in the background, I just have review after review after review on YouTube playing. And I'm just seeing all this goodness and hearing all this praise. And I'm just so hyped and I'm just so shattered heart because I can't get this game because I have bills I got to take care of and money right now is tight, and it's not even a full price game. That's how bad things are. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, damn. Like, all right, whatever. So I get on my grind. I'm doing my job, and then after my job, I'm doing Uber Eats for 4 or 5 hours a day after work, getting extra revenue that way. And it's the biggest temptation because of the Uber Eats and all that. I have the money, I could do it. But I'm like, bro, let me take care of these bills and not just take care of these bills and get the game and then be ass out again. Let me take care of these bills, stack a little bit, be responsible with this money. I'll get the game when I can get the game. So I'm chilling, whatever. About I'd say a week past launch, I was in a position where I was like, I can get the game now and I'm good. So I got it. Now, I am so damn lazy and I'm so damn hypocritical because I'm all about the physical collection and having that cartridge, and I could not be bothered that day to get my fat ass off the couch, and I just downloaded it digitally on the eShop. So that still hurts, but whatever. So I get the game, Man, let me just tell you right now, man. This is gonna be an in-depth review. We're gonna go through everything this game has to offer, everything that I liked, anything I did not like. Which is gonna be spoiler alert right now. There's really not anything that I didn't like. I mean, I can't think of anything. But anyways, bro, the game includes 13 classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games from the late '80s, early '90s. All the games we came up with and grew up with and enjoyed back then. I have a list of games that entails the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1989, the 1989 arcade game, the first one, the one that started it all, that we would see in the arcades. I got a fun little story about that particular game and my experiences with it as a child. It includes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time, the arcade game. It includes the Turtles in Time SNES version. It includes the Hyperstone Heist for Sega Genesis. It includes all three versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, the SNES, the Genesis, and the NES, which is impressive that game ran on the NES. All three Game Boy games, the Teenage Mutant Turtles: The Fall of the Foot Clan, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Back from the Sewers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Radical Rescue. All three Game Boy games. And what I like about it for the Game Boy games is it doesn't have that monochrome green and black. It's just black and white, which looks so much cleaner and so much better. Then you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Original on NES, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game on NES, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project on NES. This is a huge list of games, right there. This makes this one of the greatest collections of all time, one of the greatest compilations of all time. Be it Sonic, the Turtles, Mario, anything. This is one of the greatest collections of all time. Just right there, right off the bat. But the thing about it is, when you start up your game, you get that amazing animated Turtles intro. Every game lately has had, like, the Shredder's Revenge had its own amazing one. This one has a slightly different one. It's still real cool, but it's a lot shorter. But it's that animation stuff from the '80s, man, and the early '90s, and it's just with the music and all that. Awesome. That opens up, and then you see the title screen. Man, I'm not gonna get up and go get it. I'll do it some other time. I wanted to show you guys the actual home screen, like the menu screen. The art is just so awesome. Like, every character is there, like in a giant character montage or like a collage of all the characters. So fucking badass, and so right here, nostalgia wise, it just hits, bro. I saw that title screen and I was just like, it was just like, oh, so good. So then, basically, when you get your title screen, you got a couple of options. You have the games, you have the Turtle Lair, you have a local play, and you have online, and then you have your options. And the options really is just whatever language you want to set, and whether you want to turn the Rumble mode on or off. I did not even know that the Rumble, I completely didn't even think about it, that Rumble was a part of this game until just a few minutes ago when I looked in the options menu. So now I turned that on. Now it's going to be a whole new experience for me. But I played this game upside down, in and out, and I don't get bored of it. I literally have been... This game has made it so that Splatoon 3, which is my most anticipated Switch game of the year, just launched yesterday, and I don't have it, and I'm not going to be able to have it for a couple of weeks. This game makes that okay. Doesn't even matter. I'm playing this game nonstop. But basically, so games, when you go to games, you have your selection of games. And what's so cool is the menu style that they have when selecting your games. You're scrolling from side to side to different games. It'll tell you on the bottom a little icon what platform it was on, whether it was arcade, and SNES, Genesis, NES, Game Boy. It's real cool the way it does that. And then it has a screen in the middle that shows you the game in action, like a demo, and around it just a badass artistic border of that game. So if it was the Turtles arcade game, the '89 arcade game, it was a black and white border with a black and white original comics, panels from the original comic. If you go to Turtles in Time, it's the border consists of the cover art for that game, and vice versa as you go through every single game, so on and so on. Awesome. While the Turtles music is playing while you're going through your game selection. Then, so there you have all the different games, right? If you go to the online section and you select online, the 4 games that have online play in this 13-game collection will be available. Only those. So you got Turtles arcade game, '89 arcade game, Turtles in Time, the arcade game, Hyperstone Heist for Genesis, and Tournament Fighters for the SNES. Now, one of the few complaints I've seen in reviews, all over the internet, really, and on YouTube and all that, for this game have been that it's only 4 of the games that have online. I haven't seen anybody be as ludicrous as to suggest that every single one of the games should have online, because really the Game Boy games are going to have online. Why? They're only 1 player. And even if there are a 2-player mode, I believe there might be a 2-player mode on one of them that you could do through like a link cable for the original Game Boy. playing that online, whatever, if you could, but it's like, come on. But I have seen people say they wish that the Turtles in Time SNES would have online. Of course, we know in this collection it doesn't. Now, at first, when I saw that complaint, I was like, but the arcade version is the better version. Not by far. I mean, Turtles in Time SNES is amazing. But the arcade version is the definitive version. And it's got online. We're good. I kind of take that back now, because while playing through both versions, yes, the arcade version is technically the better version. But the SNES version just hits more. And that's not just because I grew up with it, because I played the arcade game as a kid countless times. But it's just the SNES version you had more time with. It was the one you had at home. There's a couple of differences in it, just like there was differences in the Turtles arcade game on NES versus the actual arcade. And there was just a little thing. I think the music, the soundtrack on the SNES, believe it or not, even though the arcade had a more powerful, chipset, both audio and graphically, the SNES soundtrack was better. I mean, it was the same exact soundtrack, but it sounded better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the delivery was better. In the arcade, I feel like it's a little bit lower volume-wise, and it's kind of like, it's not as pronounced. On the SNES, that shit is bumping. Also, the hits, like, when you smack the shit out of somebody on the SNES one, it's like, because the SNES had to, like, make up for the concessions that they had to make going from the arcade to the home console, they emphasize certain things. Like, when you hit somebody on the SNES, it's like, brah, like, you hear that and you feel it. And there's like a, like, like, for example, like, when and the SNES, when you dash and you truck somebody, that hit, bah, it stops that frame for, like, a quick delay, just to, like emphasize that hit, and then you keep going. Whereas in the arcade, everything flows real smooth, so there's not that much of an emphasis on whether you truck stick somebody or you slam them. Like, on the SNES, when you slam them, when you do the fling slams, it's like, bah, bah, bah. On the arcade, it's just like, da, da, da. It's like, it's not the same emphasis, so. And also, the SNES has the option that I always play with. You go to the options menu on the SNES, you go to animation or animation style, and you change that shit from animated to comics. And when you change it to comic, they look like the comic book or the action figure version of themselves, meaning they're not all the same shade of green. Their eyes are completely white, like there's no pupils, it's all white, like the comics and like the action figures that we used to buy when we were kids. So, Donatello was more of a brown green. Leo was more of like an emerald green. Mikey was more of like a pale green, and Raph was more of like a bright green. Like a bright green. Yeah, Leo was like emerald green. They all had different skin shades, and the pupils and all that just made it more authentic to me. So, seeing that, I can admit that, yeah, that's probably the one gripe I have. The SNES version should have had online as well. It's just that, if you had online, it was only a 2-player game, so it's just 2 people going through it. So the arcade, you had all 4, which was, it's awesome. There's that. Online mode, you have those 4 games available. Hyperstone Heist, Tournament Fighters on SNES, which I'm getting more and more familiar with. As a kid, I didn't play that much, so I'm playing through it now. It's hard, bro. It's a hard fighter, man. It is way harder than Street Fighter ever was. It sometimes it borders on Mortal Kombat difficulty, because the AI is just back in that day, in the 90s, 2D fighting, cheap ass computer AI. It could like anticipate your moves, blocks the shit out of everything, and then just fucks you up. But it's fun getting through it and learning the different movesets for each character and all that. So I might jump online with that one soon. But yeah, so those are the 4 games available for online mode. And every single game in this collection has its own set of enhancements, quality of life fixes, and different little bonuses that you can activate for your gameplay experience in that particular game that were never available in the original release. So, for example, you have, I'm just going to list some of the enhancements and I'll tell you where they apply. You have God mode. You have setting your start level. You have a removing slowdown. You have removing sprite flicker. You have rewind mode for every single game. And you have button remapping, because you can map the controls to what you want. So, for example, God mode is self-explanatory, and not all of them, but a lot of these games, there's the option to turn on God mode. You're just like invincible. There's set your start level. You can literally set what level you want to start in. If you don't want to play through the entire game, you just want to play a few levels, or there's a certain level you want to go to because you want to play through that level, hear that music and all that, you just do it. You set that level and that's where you start. Remove slowdown. Some of these games had, because of the limitations of hardware back then, had some pretty like noticeable slowdown in certain areas, or there's a certain amount of enemies on screen at the same time. Get rid of that altogether. Smoother gameplay experience. Remove sprite flicker. This is huge. This is huge. If you play the original NES, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES, I know everybody loves to hate on that game, even though it was a fucking great game. It was just ridiculously hard. But there, you can remove, in that game, when you play it, you'll notice that there's a lot of sprite flickering. Like your character sprite and some of the enemy character sprites, during certain movements and certain interactions, they flicker. Like a lot of NES games had that. Nightmare on Elm Street had that. Some of the Mario games had that. You could remove that altogether, and it's like a brand new game because there's no sprite flicker at all. So you see every bit of the art and character design and all that the developers originally wanted you to see. None of that flickering bullshit. Rewind mode, bro. You hold the L button, and it gives you, I think, about 20 to 30 seconds of rewinding. So if you jumped off a platform and you didn't make it, rewind that. If an enemy killed you in a stupid way, you're like, oh, that's bullshit. Because a lot of these games back then in the NES and SNES, some of the hit, especially NES, some of the hit collision detection was off. It's like, come on, I didn't really get hit there. Rewind that shit, and you know, you could redo it. So yeah, those are the enhancements. They're available across all the games. You know, some of them, you know, are specific to certain games. But yeah, you just press on the Switch. You just press the minus button when you have the game highlighted. Press that button. It'll give you the enhancement. You turn on and off whichever ones you want, which is just awesome. That alone shows the level of care and effort and work that went into this collection. They didn't just slap these games together and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? So, when you go online, no matter which online game you choose to play, it gives you the option to adjust your frame delay because online. Connection, even on the best now, even on Xbox Live, even on Xbox Live, I mean, much less frequently on Xbox Live, let's be honest, but it can happen. On PlayStation Network, it happens, and on Nintendo, of course, it's going to happen all the time because Nintendo's online connectivity is nowhere near their competitors. It gives you the option to adjust frame delay. So, it has it, like, I think by default set at 4. I'll set it to 5 or 6 to adjust and to account for the potential lag, and it makes it a lot smoother online, bro. I'll be honest, I played the Switch online, the Switch version online a number of times. It's good. It's not amazing. It's not great, but it's fun and it works. The thing is, like so many things, it really does depend on the connection of the people involved. So like, let's say you're playing Turtles arcade game, right? And you jump into a game with 2 other people, it's 3 of you, and you're there playing, and the 4th person wants to jump in. What I don't like, and I don't know if it's like this on any other version, so any of you guys who play it on other versions, you can let me know. I'm willing to bet it's a Nintendo thing. Like, I'm almost positive. When someone's going to jump into the game, it stops. Like, it freezes and tells you so-and-so is joining the game. All right, cool. Then it resumes, but when it resumes, as they're jumping in, it chops up a little bit. Then they get in, and if their connection is solid like yours is, boom, it goes smoothly. It plays smoothly. But if their connection is not, they fuck up the entire game for you. It'll start just lagging until they get the fuck out. So that's the kind of the give and takes of online play, especially when it comes to Nintendo consoles. But it does work, and it's fucking phenomenal. I played through the arcade game online with 3 other players. I played Turtles in Time, the arcade, all the way through with 3 other players. I haven't tried Hyperstorm Heist yet or Tournament Fighters because I like. The 2 main games in this collection for me are the arcade game and the Turtles in Time arcade game. Those 2. It's just, it's awesome. But I'm enjoying all the games. So there's that. What else do we have here? Okay, so yeah, like basically. Oh, okay, so all right. At the start screen, right? Like I said, you have the game selection, you have the Turtles lair, you have all the things I mentioned. Turtles lair. This is the crowning achievement, I would say, that makes this game I'm willing to put it up there, if not above Mario 3D All-Stars Collection. That's how serious I am, dude. This shows that Konami, and it's like everybody else says it, I say it too, I cannot believe I am praising Konami on a video game related issue in 2022, because it seems like they're allergic to video games in 2022. They're all about other shit, pachinko machines and all this nonsense. No, with all the great games that they have, they got their head up their asses. But whatever. Konami really went above and beyond. The Turtles lair, when you go in there, it is a hand-drawn, animated. It's basically the lair that they lived in during the '89, the '80s cartoon series, recreated 100% like it was in the show. So that the moment I went in there for the first time and saw it, I had like the biggest case of chills, bro. I was just like, oh my God, it's the fucking turtle lair. Dude, and it's like, you can scroll around it. And in certain areas of the lair, there's so much content to find. On the couch, if I'm not mistaken, there's like magazines, like, draped over the top of the couch. They are magazine articles and clippings and advertisements from the times when all these games were coming out across, like, Nintendo Power or Game Pro, or just video game magazines and stuff like that. That is awesome. Like, there was one that I saw that's it's Raph coming out of the sewer with his Sai and an NES controller, and it had the original TMNT NES, the advertisement for that game. That just took me on a trip, man. If you scroll over to the coffee table, there's a bunch of video game boxes, all these original games, the NES, SNES, and all that. And it has the original box, not just the box art, but the box itself, front and back, that you can zoom in and all that and read everything and see all the art of all the games. Turtles on NES, Turtles 2 the arcade game on NES, Manhattan Project NES, Turtles in Time on Super Nintendo, the Hyperstone Heist on Genesis. Bro, and the official instruction manuals are available for every single one of these games. Strategy guides that show you maps and tips and all that for each game. Dude, if you go over to the TV, it's got, you can look at screenshots of certain episodes of all of the original animated shows, the 80s one, the early 2000s one, all that. If you go over to the radio that's on this other section of the layer, you could play any one of the tracks from any one of the games, dude. A fucking sound test mode, bro. You haven't seen that? It's very rare that you see that in games today, bro. But in the Genesis and SNES days, that was a mainstay. You would go to the options menu and you can go play through any one of the songs that you like from the game and just have that playing in the background. Bro, so much love was given to this, bro. And I'm sure I'm missing something that's in that layer. Like, I was just flabbergasted when I went in there. I was just like, oh my God, I am 7 again, bro. I was just like, running around like a kid in a toy store, bro. Man, it's just a phenomenal collection, man. I can't say enough good about it, bro. I got it, like I said, I got it on the Switch because I want to have it portably. I could see myself, when money's better, I could see myself buying a physical copy because I really want that damn box art and I want that card. And I'm telling you like this, whenever it is that Shredder's Revenge gets taken off Game Pass, I'm not paying for it on the Xbox. I loved it. It was so amazing. I'm paying for it on the Switch because I want to have all my Turtle stuff right there on the Switch so it can go with me wherever I go. I've been playing this at work, during break, during lunch. I've been playing it here at the house. Bro, I even docked my Switch for one of the first times in a while and played, on the TV with a Pro controller, played online, bro. It's Turtles goodness, man. And what else can I say about it, man? From everything they've done, the quality of life fixes, it just shows that they, like I said before, they didn't just slap this together to make a quick buck. This was really a celebration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everything that they are. And a matter of fact, it was either Nickelodeon or Paramount, I don't remember which one, but one of them, they were questioned about, hey, depending on the success of Cowabunga Collection, is it possible that your fans can get another Cowabunga Collection featuring like the 2000s games, like like Mutant Melee and all that stuff from the GameCube and PS2 eras? And they said never say never. So we might get that, which would be just keep the Turtles goodness going, man. The Turtles should be, and I believe will be, immortal. They'll be around forever. They're not going anywhere. They might have little breaks here and there, but the Turtles is just part of life, bro, for us that grew up in that time and going forward. And the fact that they're introducing them to this new audience and this younger audience, just awesome, bro. Awesome. Yeah, man, that's my review, bro. If I had to give it a number, I mean, it's a 10, bro. It's a 10. I'm not gonna lie. You know me, I'm not one of those people that I will tell you, there's no such thing as a perfect game. And I gave you one of my gripes was that the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time didn't have online play. But that's it. There is no such thing as a perfect game. But there are games that are worthy of a perfect score because of when you consider all that they do right and so little that they do wrong. I don't have a problem giving a game a 10. And this game, this compilation, deserves a 10. Everything from the content to the quality of life features to the enhancements they let you apply to each game to online mode to the Turtles lair that is just a freaking ride down memory lane. So much content. Oh, it also has, that's what I missed. It also has a bunch of behind the scenes concept art from the different games. It's a 10, bro. It's a 10. If you are a beat 'em up fan, if you are a Turtles fan, or if you are a classic arcade, the arcade era beat 'em ups, you know, like the Turtles, the X-Men's, the Simpsons, and all that, this is a collection worth investing in, man. You will thoroughly enjoy it, and there's so much. There's such a selection of games, man. Like, like real quick, the Game Boy games. I was under the impression, I was like, I've never played the Game Boy games, so I'm gonna play through them. You know, so I picked. I think it was the first one. I think it was Fall of the Foot Clan. I started playing through it, and by the time I reached the second level and I heard the music of the second level, I flashed back and I was like, holy shit. Not only have I played this, I owned this on my original Game Boy back in the day. And it was just like, oh, bro, like I had completely forgotten that experience. I thought I had never played these games. And I was playing it, and I was like, oh my God, I remember this. And I was having a blast, bro. I got to go back and play the other two Game Boy games. Because I know from my memories, I only had Fall of the Foot. Fall of the Foot. I had the first one. I don't think I played the other two. So those are going to be new experiences for me. It's just incredible, man. Like the amount of attention to detail, the love, the effort, the work, the variety of games, the variety of game modes, and all that. Like it's a 10. It's a 10, and it definitely deserves to be talked about and praised. And man. Oh, and one other thing I'll point out: after playing through this whole thing and going back and playing Shredder's Revenge again, Shredder's Revenge is the best. It's amazing. Nothing wrong with that game. But there's a difference, bro. And I like it. I like the fact that there's a difference because it's like, it's not just 100% copy and paste. Like when I play Shredder's Revenge, I can feel the modernness of it, if you understand what I'm saying. Like I'll play the 89 arcade game, I'll play Turtles in Time, and those are just cemented legendary classics. There's no, bro, I'll fight somebody that talks about those games. But it's like when I go and play Shredder's Revenge, it's like I said before in my review or when in my comments of Shredder's Revenge before, it's the perfect marriage, bro, of that old school and modern. Because when I go to it, the vibe, the animation, the gameplay controls, they all have this newness to them and this modernness to them that there is a difference. It's not just a modern Turtles in Time or a modern Turtles arcade game. It's that with more. And you know what I'm saying? Which I said before, but not like having played them together, I can see it, and I love that because it's like a transition. It's like these are forever greats, and this is amazing, but it's got its own identity to it, you know. So it's just great, man. That's the review, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, man. Cowabunga Collection is. I was so happy I got it, bro. I was so heartbroken when I couldn't get it on launch because I was waiting for it so hard, and then when with everything that's been happening, I'm like, damn, bro, I got to hold off on it, and that just broke my heart, bro. But then like a week or so later, week and a half later, I was like, I could do it. I didn't even get up. I just went to the eShop. Boop, download immediately. Bro, as soon as I saw that, even the icon for it on your Switch home screen, it's just bro, seeing that there just brings the biggest smile to my face, bro. I have all these amazing, I have Knights of the Old Republic, Metroid Dread, Mario Strikers Battle League, 3D All-Stars Collection, Breath of the Wild, all these things. And then right there at the front of it, I have this icon with the 4 turtles all there, like all it's like a split panel, and it's all 4 turtles just like getting ready to go to war. I'm just like, yes. So yeah, man, that's the review. 10 out of 10 for me, bro. You guys have any questions or any thoughts on the game, or you agree, disagree, whatever discussion you want to have, we can have it. Put it in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, do everything that we can do to make this channel grow. Like I said, I'm trying to push this to that next level, man, and we're gonna get there, man. Bro, in the last week since I made my last 2 videos, I went up. I think it was, I want to say 6 subscribers or something like that, which was just. And when I looked at my analytics, it was like a spike. It was like, oh, it was the biggest growth in years. So it was just like awesome, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. Any thoughts? If there's anything else you want me to go in depth in on this game that I didn't mention in this review, please feel free to put it down below, and I'll definitely do it. Coming up next, I'm going to do a video on a lot of Xbox related news, man, that I've heard over the last week. So we'll get into that now, man. God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace.